Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Нараянам намаскарта нарамта, чева народимам, девим срасватими самта туджиям дурет, шинутасват Кришна Пуня Шравана Киртана Хридянта Стухия Падри Невидуноти Сурсатам. Нашта Преша Падри Шунитям Бхагавата Сивая Бхагавати Утамашлуки Бхакти Бхавати Наштики. We will be reading today Canto 4, Chapter 12, text 1 to 3. Chapter 12, called Dhruva Maharaja Goes Back to Godhead. Next one. Maitreya Vacha, Dhruvam Nivritam Pratibhupya Vaishashad, Apeta Manium Bhagavan Kanyeshvara, Tatragatash Charanayaksha Kinara, Samstuyamano Niyavatat Ritanjali. Word-to-word translation, text translation, and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Maitreya Vacha, Maitreya said, Dhruva Maharaja, Nivritam ceased, Pratibhubhya, having learned, Vaishashad from killing, Apeta subsided, Manium anger, Bhagavan Kuvera, Dhana Ishvara, master of the treasury, Tatra there, Agata appeared, Charana by the Charanas, Yaksha Yakshas, Kinara and by the Kinaras, Samstuyamana being worshipped, Niyavadat spoke, Kritanjali to Dhruva with folded hands. Translation. The great sage Maitreya said, My dear Vidura, Dhruva Maharaja's anger subsided and he completely ceased killing Yakshas. When Kuvera, the most blessed master of the treasury, learned this news, he appeared before Dhruva. While being worshipped by Yakshas, Kinaras, and Charanas, he spoke to Dhruva Maharaja, who stood before him with folded hands. Text 2. Anandavacha, Hopho Kshatriya Daida, Paritushto Asmitiangam, Yadvam Pitama Hadeshan, Vairam Dushtejam Atija. Dhana Dhavaja, the master of the treasury Kuvera, said, Poha O Kshatriya Dayada, O son of a Kshatriya, Paritushta, very glad, as me, I am, here with you, Anaga, O sinless one, yet because Tvam you, Pitamaha, of your grandfather, Ateshad, under the instruction, Vairam, enmity, Dushtejam, difficult to avoid, Adzajaha, have given up. Translation. The master of the treasury Kuvera said, O sinless son of a Kshatriya, I am very glad to know that under the instruction of your grandfather, you have given up your enmity, although it is very difficult to avoid. I am very pleased with you. Text 3. Na bhavan avadhi dikshan, na yaksha bradaram tavam, ala evahi hudanam, prabhur abhya avayaha. Nanad, Havan you, Avadid killed, Yakshan the Yakshas, Nanad Yakshaha the Yakshas, Pradaram brother, Avayo, Kala time, ever certainly, he folk Hudnam of living entities, Prabha the Supreme Lord, Abheha, Avayaham of annihilation and generation. Translation. Actually, you have not killed the Yakshas, nor have they killed your brother. For the ultimate cause of generation and annihilation is the eternal time feature of the Supreme Lord. Purport. When the master of the treasury addressed him as sinless, Dhruva Maharaja, considering himself responsible for killing so many Yakshas, might have thought himself otherwise. Kuvera, however, assured him that factually he had not killed any of the Yakshas, therefore he was not at all sinful. He did his duty as a king, as it is ordered by the laws of nature. Nor should you think that your brother was killed by the Yakshas, said Kuvera. He died or was killed in due course of time by the laws of nature. Eternal time, one of the features of the Lord, is ultimately responsible for annihilation in generation. You are not responsible for such actions. End of report. Om Gyanantimadasya Hinanjana Shalakya Chakshurmultamina Tasmai Shukrinha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtapati Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Guruvaya Prachitani Visha Srinivadi Prashtapati Vishtarinanda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Vivek Sati Guru Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. I humbly bow down and seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas, and thank you for the opportunity to read Srimad Bhagavatam for my own purification. I've selected a few points to summarize from lectures from Parampara. Today we started reading chapter 12 called Dhruva Maharaja Goes Back to Godhead. We read today how great sage Maitreya said to Vidura that Dhruva Maharaja stood before Kuvera with folded hands. He was worrying that Kuvera may be angry with him because Dhruva Maharaja did a lot of fighting and killing armies of Kuvera, armies of Yakshas. However, we see some qualities of Kuvera. Just as Swayambhuva Manu is a very great personality, Kuvera also not an ordinary personality. And he comes and speaks very philosophical words to Dhruva Maharaj, telling him that you did not kill the Yakshas, and neither the Yakshas kill your brother. They were all killed by eternal time. Kuvera also describes Dhruva Maharaj being sinless. In text 2, we have read, sinless son of a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas by nature are usually involved in sinful activities. They have to practice hunting in order to develop their military arts. They're involved in killing animals. They have to use their military arts to fight and defend the kingdom and punish the miscreants. They have to be able to administer violence. So some sin is involved there. But Dhruva Maharaj is described as sinless. Why? Because Dhruva Maharaj is a great devotee. Without being sinless, one cannot be a devotee. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells us that only those persons who are pious in previous lives and in this life can be freed from all sinful reactions. Only they can engage themselves in Krishna's devotional service with determination and free from dualities. So Dhruva Maharaj, great devotee, and in order to be a devotee, one should be sinless. And we have read how Kuvera explained why he is sinless, because Dhruva Maharaj is not responsible for the killing. Srila Prabhupada in purport says that Dhruva Maharaj was killing out of the sense of duty. And Kuvera says that eternal time, eternal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is responsible for the killing. In the course of Srimad Bhagavatam, many references are made to eternal time. One of them is mentioned in the first canto, where we have Grandfather Bhishma on his bed of arrows. And you all know how Lord Krishna had to pacify the mind of Lord Yudhishthira at the Battle of Kurukshetra. Maharaj Yudhishthira was considering himself responsible for the war which resulted in death of so many people, and he was lamenting that it was due to his own desire of the kingdom. All of this is happened. Lord Krishna wanted to pacify the mind of the Maharaj Yudhishthira, and finally he brought him to Bhishma laying on the bed of arrows. And Grandfather Bhishma was the one to give the final instructions to pacify the mind of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Bhishma did it by explaining to him that everything that just happened, all of these disasters, everything that is taking place, all of these calamities, they are simply due to eternal time. All of these sufferings are simply due to time. And all of us are under the control of this force of time, which comes endlessly and takes everything. We come together by the force of time, and we get separated by the force of time. The time has no beginning, no end. It is time which comes and destroys everything. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says that he is time, the destroyer of the world. No one can counteract the effects of time. Srila Prabhupada would often quote Chanakya Pandit, who said that time is the most valuable thing. One cannot purchase time for any amount of wealth. Time goes by so fast. We want to stop it when we enjoy it, but time is going on and time is running out. When we are in a difficult situation, we want time to go fast. We think, let me go over this as quickly as possible. We have many sayings about time. Time not waiting for no man. And most popular one, time is money. The power of time takes away the power of our senses. Weakness and sicknesses are coming with time. The body is deteriorating with time. People have to prepare for old age. For materialistic people, time comes in a form of death. Death comes and takes away everything. Of course, materialistic people live in fear of death. But for a devotee, there is no fear. Materialistic people are fearful. Death gives people warnings that time comes, people's hair becomes gray, their faces get wrinkled, their senses all become weak. This is all due to influence of time. This is material world. People don't see the influence of time, how it's going on continually. The influence of time causes separation of families. The Lord is there in the fearful form of time, in the fearful form of death. But for devotee, there is no fear. Time is not the obstacle. Devotee can see the Lord in Satchitananda form. Although Lord is in the form of time, he is also in Dvaraka and his Satchitananda form. A devotee can see the Lord in that form. That form is pleasing. Devotees take pleasure in seeing the Lord in his deity form. If you don't see the Lord in the deity, if you don't see the Lord in his holy name, then materialistic people see the Lord in the form of death, which comes and takes away everything. The effect of time is there for everyone, but devotees can conquer time. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam in 2nd canto about the glories of hearing the topics in relations to the Lord. For people who don't hear topics of the Lord, their duration of life is reduced. But when you hear the topics of the Lord, then time stands still. Time is not affecting the devotee. A devotee is serving Krishna. The body is getting old. Adjustment of the service in some ways might be needed, but service to Krishna goes on. Srila Prabhupada explains, as the body ages after 50s, 60s, death can come at any time. One have to prepare, visit holy places, Mayapur, Vrindavan. Devotees can overcome the effects of time in these places. Devotees not worrying about having the eternal body. They just want simply to be engaged in Krishna's service in any situation. Time is Krishna's energy. We see it in relation to Krishna. We surrender to time, but we are not attracted by that form of time. We are attracted by Krishna's eternal form, his threefold banded form. Playing the flute, standing on the banks of Yamuna, we see Krishna in that form. We need to choose wisely how to spend our time in sense-enjoying activities or in service to Krishna and his devotees. We need to learn how to do proper things, visit temple, learn more about what Krishna likes, try to do everything as Krishna likes, start devotional service as soon as possible while there is time. We need to be sincere and with proper intentions in our sadhana and in our devotional service. And we need to try not to waste time. We need to try to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. I'll stop here. I apologize for any shortcomings during reading and summarizing. Thank you for the opportunity, Hare Krishna.